right. In many campaigns, you will see $1 or €1 tier. Is it useful? So this historically used to be an entry tier that you can just send to your friends and family. If they really don't care about what you're doing, but they want to support you, they could pledge $1 and then they would be counted as backers. So the pros of this approach is that it inflates the number of backers. They will get the updates of the campaign, which is something that, for example, for Kickstarter, it is required that you do a pledge. If you use GameFound, it's not required that you do a pledge, which is really smart because some people want to know more about the campaign without actually putting down the money immediately. And you know that people that put in €1 or $1, they usually are interested, but maybe they don't have the money right now, so they are expecting that they can buy more in the pledge manager later on. The cons of this approach is that, of course, there's almost no impact in the total that is raised, and you cannot really offer anything except your thank yous. And if for some reason you structure some stretch goals in a way that all backers get it, then even people that gave you $1 or €1 will get it. So do you want that? Make sure that that's what you want. My suggestion is that you increase the lowest entry point to at least $5 or €5 or more. I never use the lower $1, €1 entry point because there is a better alternative now. And this better alternative is that people can make a pledge without a reward if they want to support you. They still get the updates, they don't get anything in exchange, and that is the go-to solution for this kind of if you want this kind of support. Early birds, as mentioned before, there are different ways to do it. You can make them unlimited, but you need to pledge at that tier during a specific amount of time, or you can make them limited. Like you can say, well, there's only 100 of these, and once they run out, this tier will become grayed out, and people will not be able to pledge for it anymore. One thing you need to remember, if you do it that way, like a limited number, you know that, for example, you have 100 and 100 people pledge, then the tier becomes inactive. But if somebody pulls their pledge, that tier will become active again until all the available items are taken. So according to what you prefer, this could be a good or a bad solution. Consider very carefully if you want to offer this stuff just on a specific time frame, or it's okay if even somebody pulls a pledge and later on in the campaign someone else can get that. We already discussed this, but early birds bring people in your campaign when it matters. There are three options: limited by quantity, as we mentioned, time sensitive, so that you can acquire only during a specific time frame. Usually it's the beginning. I've seen it done also towards the very end. There are some kind of special offer tiers towards the very end of the campaign. You need to be careful not to piss people off, or make sure that you don't want a massive amount of people changing their tier to the newer one you have introduced. So consider very carefully what could happen. And then I also seen it done by hand in a way that it's not recorded by the Kickstarter backend in any way, but the campaign says if you are among the first 100 backers of the campaign, because when somebody backs, they get a backer number. If you're among the first 100, you will also get that. That method, it's not the easiest to handle because you need to do it by hand, but it's possible to do it, and I've seen it done. So that's another criteria that you can use. So if necessary, I think early birds is where you could take a small loss, in a way that even if the margin when you sell the item at that price is not as great as the normal price, it's worth you can think about it as an investment to bring more people in. So if you have to take a small loss, take it there. But that said, I think you should make the early birds only marginally better than the standard offer, because if you do not do that, the people that arrive later will see, oh, people that got the early bird got such a better deal than me. I'm pissed now. I don't want to back this campaign anymore. So what I do usually is that I offer a really tiny discount, 1, 2, 3, 5 euros top, or I offer an item for free that later on you will have to purchase. So consider very carefully what you want to do there, but do not make the early bird so much better than the normal one that everybody who doesn't get it will be upset by it. You can think about the early birds as rewards for your community, the people that follow you, the people that actually care about this campaign. So they are getting a better deal because they are the people that are willing to open their wallet before anyone else. That's how I think about them. And they are also the people that are willing to commit to your campaign when there is some risk involved, because you will see that as soon as your campaign is funded, a lot more people will be confident in backing. And you don't need those people. You need the people that want to back you when it's not sure that the game will happen. So that's the people you really need to take care of. And if you can offer them something nice, I think it's worth doing it. What do you include in a tier when you plan it? The structure is always this one. First, you should have this title. It can be 40 characters long. Then a little description. I usually don't even put the description there because just below you will have the included items. So somewhat the items are clarifying what's inside that tier. But you can write a description, a little text if there's something you want to say. For example, sometimes I've been having tiers that are just for people running shops. So I write it there like this is just for shop owners, and we will ask you a proof that you're a shop owner. Then you will have to set an estimated delivery. This delivery might not be the same as in all the tiers, because you might be able to deliver the digital files before the physical ones. So consider very carefully when you want to promise. And when you think you know the month when you're going to deliver, add the 2 or 3 months. This is because it's better for people to keep their expectations in check, and you to have a bit of time to maneuver if something goes wrong, because it's much easier to tell people that you delivered early than there are delays. Also, you need to set where does the reward ship. You can work also for macro areas, for example, European Union and then US, etc. And if it's limited in any way, you can decide that when you are setting up the tier, as we already mentioned before. As told previously, do not do tiers that are referring to the previous one, because otherwise people will have to go and read the previous one just to understand what they're buying right now. I don't like it. It's confusing, and people might decide to drop it because they don't understand what they're buying exactly.